without being too annoying. All right, I think that's good. Let's get old Spectre in here.
Jesus
Spectre.
Christ, that scared me.
It just grab you randomly and chuck you into the room.
Well, it like did like a triple like disconnect reconnect sound. It was like,
oh really?
I was like, oh.
I should put it on a macro that just like shuffles you through every chat channel in my Discord before settling on the one that it needs to be in.
Oh my god.
So it's like, bloop, and then you're in.
That's funny.
So how goes it on this? Well, at least for me, kind of stormy Monday.
It was hot today.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like it was hot today as well, but I rode the scooter to work and I rode the scooter home, and on my way home, I'm just staring at like dark thunderclouds the entire way home, going, "Well, I'm gonna get wet." Thankfully, I didn't, but you know,
that's good.
I honestly thought I was gonna be riding like the little scooter through like a thunderstorm and be dodging lightning bolts.
That'd be fun, challenging, you know. Hey, what are you doing today? Yeah, you know, dodge lightning.
You know, tried not to die.
Yep.
Something. So I need to do something with the stream really quick. So,
all right.
So I need to update my card because I realize that this is probably going to be the last stream where I'm doing this, but I still have a little bit of sorting left to do with this model. And so I need to make it very clear to everyone that the stream is going to be boring as hell from a viewpoint or from a viewing standpoint.
Anime character with a pile of models.
If only I had infinite money to have art commissioned, I would be infinitely further down the road than I am now. But, you know.
Fiverr is a good thing. You probably only have to pay them about $500 to do that.
Okay. Thank you for saying Fiverr, because I have to rant about Fiverr because Fiverr pisses me off. Like, don't get me wrong. I love Fiverr because because I've gotten a ton of artwork off of Fiverr. And I think the artists on there are absolutely fantastic. The thing that I hate about Fiverr is that if you want to tip a creator, Fiverr double taps you for their share. So, and I get why they do it, because it prevents you from like charging super cheap up front and then getting like a really big tip that, you know, they don't get a cut of. But it's just stupid because like if I want to, if I think someone did a really good job and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to throw you like 10 or 20 bucks because I thought you did a really good job, Fiverr's going to take like 25% of that or something like that. And it's just like, but I want all that to go to the creator because they did a good job. So either I have to pay more or I have to feel shitty because Fiverr took money from me. And so I refuse to be double tapped by Fiverr, which is why I haven't used Fiverr in a while now.
That's fair. There's got to be ways around that though, just Venmo or PayPal or something. But yeah, still though, it's not. I get the point. It sucks.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah.
I don't even have a scale for this. Sorry, I'm looking at Photoshop right now. I'm not looking at my screen. Let's see. We're gonna say MISC Fury doing the boring stuff.
Ferocious. No, it's not ferocious today.
What is ferocious?
Fury. Why so furious?
So as I have sat and contemplated for many hours at this point, many hours, and why are you not giving me the expert screen?
Many hours.
Many hours. I still don't like the Fury MX.
Well,
I don't like it.
Growing you like a bad mole or something? You never know.
No, because I don't. The problem is that it's like, okay, I could see having a regular Fury because it has guns on it. So if you were to like take it planet side and go tootle around and whatnot, and you get attacked by someone, then cool, you can go fight them or fly away or whatnot. But with the missile one, it's like, okay, you have it for like a very limited period of time. Like, it doesn't feel like a vehicle that you could go set off planet side on like a grand adventure with.
Fair enough.
And that bugs me.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Wait a sec. I should actually save this properly instead of tossing it to the wayside like I did last time.
Where is my?
Yep, we're all sorts of put together on this stream. Everything
Oh,
comes together at the last second, and where is it? There we go. Look at that. Okay, cool. It's correctly indicating that this is going to be boring. So that is everything I wanted and more.
Everything I want. I want it for you. Woo. Okay, what?
Oh, whoops. Okay. There we go. I can turn the music down a little bit more. All right, so here we are. We have the Fury, or at least the body of it. I've been pulling the wings off into their own separate subassemblies. I've also got the engines finally in here as well, so those have made an appearance. But I need to pull off the final wing, which is, well, it's right here. Or, no, excuse me, it's not right there. It's right here, but there's nothing in it. So I need to do a little sortie Sue with this, because once I pull that wing off, then I need to... So, long story short, I started pulling off the little actuators for the wings last time, and my CAD program crashed after the stream, so I lost all that work. So, I got to start that over again, but I'm going to make sure all the wings are pulled out this time before I start, under the guise that nothing possibly can go wrong this time. And I'll actually actively work on it to where I might actually get more done this time.
Ooh.
But yeah, so are you excited for Invictus? Are you gonna pick anything up?
Well, I am excited. And,
as you like straighten your tie and pull up your pants, and you're like,
Yeah,
well,
lean back.
I'm glad you asked, and then you pull out your Microsoft Excel spreadsheet, and you're like, well, if I play my cards right, I might be able to value proposition my way into a javelin, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I wish. No, yeah. I plan on, sorry I had a yawn there. I plan on getting, probably one of the Furies, but
Okay,
I'm not really, I do not like the tank at all. I
Really?
don't-
I'm totally... The tank will be an instant buy for me, just under the guise of I love single-seat tanks. Like single-operator tanks.
But see, the tank, the Nova tank, it could be pretty much operated solely by the driver.
Fair enough.
You can use the main gun and the missiles on it.
Fair enough. No, I
don't see the value of the little one.
I have a Nova. I understand. Like the Nova has given me probably some of my best, or at least one of my favorite Star Citizen experiences so far, which was I followed a group down to the surface of Daymar with a bunch of Novas, and we set off through kind of like the desert in a storm, and I could only see like the lights and the ass end of the tank in front of me, and there was someone behind me, and it gave me vibes of what like actual desert, like sandstorm tank combat would feel like, and it was amazing.
Nice.
So
Yeah, see-
I think that because I like, as much as I love like Star Citizen, the game proper, I do think that Star Citizen will see this. I'm not going to call it a resurgence, but I think that the game will see a very positive uptick in kind of reception and community and playability once we get meaningful ground stuff.
Oh, for sure.
You know, because I mean, like, as great as space is, as great as space is, and all, I think that at least in terms of ground missions and what you can do, there is a lot of really, really cool stuff. Like, hell, even if it was just like an assault a fortified like fortress or something, like something that requires like 10 to 20 people all working together just to accomplish and like do a bunch of like have a bunch of objectives inside. I think that that's going to be absolutely amazing.
Oh, absolutely. Like, there's no doubt about.
I mean,
I have no doubt about that.
I mean, if you look at the engine thus far, and you look at what Star Citizen has to offer from like a framework, look at this. Look at the success and wild popularity of the PlanetSide franchise. Like, Star Citizen is, in my opinion, very close to providing something akin to PlanetSide, and I think that that Star Citizen could do it even better than PlanetSide did. And I know I'll get like a shit ton of flack for that because obviously PlanetSide was a game developed around its original concept, but I think that Star Citizen has the capability to supersede PlanetSide just in ground operations alone.
That's pretty cool.
But I don't know what CIG's roadmap is for such things, and I don't know. I kind of wish that they would put a little bit more effort into providing something that gives us options for using ground vehicles in a meaningful way, because they keep providing them to us,
Yeah,
but they're not giving us any reason to do anything with them.
I really think the whole make your own gameplay thing is what CIG is really banking on right now. They're hoping and praying that gets us through. But
well, sure, but I mean, like, again, in order to make your own gameplay, you need some form of content to build around. Yeah. Like, if CIG isn't going to give us, you know, like nothing, no ground structure we have in the game currently really gives us options to have that vehicle ground play. Like, even if we wanted to try to create it, like, the only good vehicle ground gameplay that I have found is like tank and ground vehicle battles, just like find a hilly area randomly on a planet and go to town, or racing. Like, that's pretty much it in my opinion. Like, the only other thing I've done, which granted I enjoyed, but it kind of gets boring, is forcing yourself to do cargo missions with a ground transport aspect of it.
Yes, yeah, which is hard to do because you have to just want to RP to make that feel like you're doing something, because it's not time efficient. But anyway, circling back to that tank, so I know for a fact CIG, well, I don't know for a fact, but I have suspicion CIG made it just as wide as the tongue for. They don't want you shoving those everywhere in the vehicle, which kind of annoys me. It's really wide. Okay, it's really short. It's still kind of long, but it's extremely wide. And I'm just like, why did they do that? Because they didn't need to. It could have been like a little tiny tank. It could have been like a third of the size, a half the size, right?
Yeah.
You know, it could have been that. So that's kind of rubs me the wrong way a little bit. Maybe that's why I don't want to buy one. That's just my.
They made it small. I mean, they made it low profile, and I mean, to a certain degree, that's going to aid it in combat.
Yes, and it will fit in a Valkyrie.
Although I do think it's kind of curious. I have my suspicions that that what's it called again?
What do you mean?
I think the small tank was was a name for it, and
let me look here.
It is the
Storm. No, Storm.
Yeah, Temporal Storm.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that this did not start off as a tumbrel vehicle. It.
Doesn't look anything like a Tumbrel, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I mean, you put it in the Nova side by side, and I'm sorry, I just like I see where they came in after the fact and kind of massaged it into a tumbrel, but I'm not buying the idea that this started life
Oh
as a
no,
tumbrel vehicle. Like I think it started life as some other manufacturer.
one that we don't have yet that maybe they weren't ready for.
Um
Maybe or I mean,
yeah,
right
I
now we only have
mean,
Tumbrel, right?
as weird as this might sound, I could be convinced that it was an anvil originally.
Yeah, actually, yeah. See that?
Because like the pod style tank treads and kind of the design language and the low profile, it doesn't match Tumbrel. Like that's not it, you know?
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. Yeah, makes sense. But you know what? I might warm up to it. I don't know. I it looks cool, but you know what's funny is I used to hate the A2 and a few other ships, and I own them. Like I have them in my fleet now because I absolutely love them. So some ships I started off really disliking,
Mhm.
and some cool little gameplay thing comes along, and boom, I absolutely love it. Like so I was doing me and Brian were doing some uh we were playing the other night, and did some bounty missions, right?
Mhm.
And I was flying the Inferno. Well, I was still humming and hawing about owning one. And I launched a couple missiles, and it hits the target. And then he comes in and he launches one as well, and it streaks over my right side, just right off the side of my cockpit, and
Mhm.
it hits the target, and the target was flying, and it was like it exploded in a nice blue and orange fireball, and it kept on going like a really cool like Michael Bay moment in like a movie. I was like, that was beyond incredibly cool. So I'm
Nice.
like, yes, I'm sold. I'm getting the Inferno. Like, so I had a CCU laying around, and I just upgraded something I didn't like to that,
As one does, you know.
so now, but like, so maybe one day I'll like the
I mean,
storm.
that's the way of Star Citizen. Like, I mean, in the years that I've been playing, I definitely have seen that there are ships that I used to fly that I don't own and don't fly anymore. Freelancer Max, good
Oh,
example of
great,
that. You know, I
great.
spent a lot of my early career in a Freelancer Max, and
Yep,
I've moved on to, let's just say, bigger and better ships.
absolutely.
Um,
Still a great ship.
maybe not better ships, but just bigger ships. You know,
Yeah,
I side by side, I think I would much rather own a Mercury Star Runner, despite the
yep,
fact that I still think its Maze of Corridors is a
yeah.
little
They're gonna.
cancerous.
Kind of wish they'd get rid of the sub level of. Yeah, it was a fun idea for 5 minutes.
Yeah, the whole like, oh, the interior is
Nobody
supposed to
knows.
replicate the feel of like the Millennium Falcon. Was like, no, that's dumb.
No, nobody's gonna. Everybody's gonna know it's there. It's like, oh, I wonder where the secret
Yeah,
hallways are. It's like, oh, I wonder. It's like,
there's
but
maybe a reason why that design style hasn't been replicated on a ship since. Who would have
yep.
thought?
I hope they take it out. There's gonna be a couple people that hate that they take it out, but they really need to just take it out.
Yeah,
And if
it's like
just
it's
off
like
a
the
lot.
Starfarer. It's like your ship doesn't have to be an FPS level.
Nope. I mean,
You know,
at the
you can.
time, it made sense. Chris Roberts wanted to show it off, like, ah, cool, big ship. Go into the game and pretend you're actually doing something. 10 years. It's like, but no, I don't want to.
You
I don't
gotta
want
you
to. I
gotta
don't.
you gotta gotta use that big brain and think like 4,000 steps ahead.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still holding hope that there's another surprise ship. I really do.
You think so?
I have a weird feeling, and
I
it
mean,
could be
Aegis does have its own day.
they normally do though, but they always have their own day. But
Fair enough. Yeah, I guess they are a quote unquote big military contractor.
Yeah, but my thing is you know what? We'll see. But nothing was in the showrooms, so unless they're really good at hiding it
Well,
now.
yeah, wasn't there a hole in the Aegis showroom?
I don't know.
I
I
thought I, I
never.
thought I saw a rumor that there was a hole in the Aegis hall, and that
Oh,
was why people thought there was going to be an Aegis ship. Um,
interesting. I didn't know about that. I didn't even think it was gonna be ages. I just assumed there's gonna be
um,
another ships. I'm just like I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what. It would be really cool actually, is if the Vulcan was finished. They surprised us with that.
hmm.
Surprise!
Well,
Vulcan.
but they don't have the tech for it, so it'd just be
Some
another
of it.
reclaimer.
No, or not the Vulture.
Ooh.
Sorry, I meant the Vulcan, the refueler, repair and
Yeah,
rearm.
okay. I guess the refueling aspect of it, sure.
Yeah, but now we can rearm though, to a degree in 319. We
True.
can put guns on it and some missiles. They could make it half useful. It would have a place.
So, it's a weird side tangent. Did you
Yeah.
notice that in the previews of the skins we're getting, that one weird Tavarin skin is now being applied to a bunch of other ships?
What? I gotta look at this.
It's the skin that was like the like vintage war skin for the Prowler and the
Oh,
Talon.
interesting.
And
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, let me see if I can find it.
Wonder why they're doing that. Actually, there was some
What
talk
in the? Oh, never mind.
in Yacht Club about stolen valor. I don't like
Stolen Valor.
because like they're selling the uniforms and stuff.
It's the Ocellus paint. So if you,
Fellas.
it's so the Ocellus, the OCELLUS paint for the Talon and the Prowler. If you look at the leaked skins for, well, leaked skins in the files, whether or not we get
Whoa,
them
it's like
with.
that
Oh,
gray.
it's probably for Alien Week, to be entirely honest.
Yeah, Alien Week, Halloween
So
Week.
the Defender gets it, the Nox gets it, the Cartual gets it. I think
Interesting.
that's it.
Still kind of. They have a lot of Nox skins. I was looking and it's like, oh, it's a lot of skins. I gotta say though, that red skin for the Fury is,
Hmm.
yeah.
I kind of
People
like
are right.
the sky blue one,
Oh, I do too. Yeah, no, that
or
one's a
the
solid.
or the gray, or this like slate gray one.
That one looks. Yeah, actually, that almost looks like it should be the
Yeah.
default.
It gives it that nice like I don't know, like new military look.
It does. It'll
Although
still
I
have
have to say,
wear and tear. Actually,
it's
wear
the
and tear on the
Harmony
inside.
skin. I didn't realize it. The Cartual gets the Harmony skin this time around. I love the Harmony skin so much.
Oh, that skin. Okay.
Yeah, the Harmony skin is great. I mean, I
That's
forget
a
who
really.
said it, but before it was revealed last year, I think it was Disco who said something to the effect of like it's really good, and then I saw it and was like, yeah, it's really good looking.
Yeah. No, they knocked that one out of the park for sure. That pinky one for the Cartool is kind of interesting.
I'm kind of pissed that they don't have any blade skins.
Yeah.
Like none of the. I mean, granted, the glaive. So the glaive's already been reworked, so it won't get skins until the new glaive is in game. But
The
but
squad
the
converted.
blade is the blade is the current design style. So theoretically, it could be getting skins right now. I mean, theoretically, it is the current. It has skin tech on it. You would think.
Current of 10 years ago? No.
Oh, I just
Yeah.
realized my stream has just been sitting at like the Hulk of the cutter.
Oh,
Just the
I thought
hulking
that,
like shell of the
I thought,
cutter just sitting
I
there in
thought that's what they
space.
wanted it, so I would have said something.
Meh.
But, so, circling back to,
Mm-hmm.
so we're going to get the Ursa, or not the Ursa, the Lynx, which is,
Links.
it's fun. It's how we get VIP missions. Not just wear your concierge hat and monocle and
Mm-hmm.
suit,
Mm-hmm.
get pictures for the next 2 weeks until everybody melts it, or forgets that they own it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, though. So yeah, I maybe get a Fury. I have a couple. Like I have a 400 or not a 400 eye, a 100 eye on one of my accounts. I can melt to buy it if it's the same price. So
Okay.
about all I'm going to be doing. Maybe a couple Warbond CCUs, but
Oh yeah, see what pops up.
yeah. What about you? What are you thinking? Besides the Fury missile, like
So here's a question: is the Storm gonna be straight to drivable, or is it just a concept?
so that one, I believe that one's a concept. The
Huh.
Fury, the Lynx are straight to flyable.
Yeah.
It's drivable, but there's
I'll
no. There's
probably pick up the Fury, like just the basic Fury, not the missile one. I don't know. I'm not convinced yet.
I
Um,
like I said yesterday. I think how I plan on using the Fury is just basically getting it out there and um, doing what I gotta do with the missiles quick and getting back. Because I don't feel like I want to fly around. It depends on how fast it is, I guess.
True.
But because this game is realistic speeds and distances, right? Like I can't see myself flying for 7 to 10 minutes to find a target. Like
True. True.
I don't. Not with that fighter. I'll be like, that's great for like a planetary base where you just want to come like a half a dozen of those cheap fighters sitting there for you and your
Mm-hmm.
boys to jump in while you're getting attacked by a hurricane or something. It's like, yeah, I just jump in and scream around the base and shoot at it and then land or whatever. I feel like that's what it's for.
Yeah. No.
But
Fair enough.
CIG could drop a surprise like a Fury concept like a little mini carrier on us or something. Future.
So
Pod carrier, you just have like a dozen Furies attached to the undercarriage of it. That'd be cool.
So I think I can happily report that the wings on the Fury are all replicates of each other.
Oh, sweet. Just have to do
So
one.
yeah, just have to do one,
One and
and then the rest fall into line.
good
All
job,
right.
CIG.
So now that I've gone through all this effort to pull this apart,
Very simple.
so let me do.
I saw that boat in
Actually, first
half.
off, let me. I just sawed this Fury in half.
You betcha.
I've always thought that if I had more time, it would be fun to do like meme-ish stuff with my models. One of the things that I really wanted to do at my last job, because they had access to really, really nice high-speed cameras, was to do Star Citizen crash testing, but with my models. So, like the idea would be that I would hold the model out of a window of a car and drive it like 60 miles an hour, and then let it go at the last second and let it crash into like a concrete wall, but have it filmed with a high-speed camera, so that
That's
you would just see it crash into this concrete and just turn into a billion splinters.
That's pretty. That sounds fun.
That or drop it off the roof, one of the two.
No, I like the other one.
But I always thought that would be
Drive down the interstate. No.
that would be a fun and interesting way to I don't know, to make content out of my models. I've been trying to think of what I'm gonna do when I finish this model, like if I'm just gonna take photos of it, or if I'm gonna do something a little bit more.
Then it's CIG. They haven't been showcasing their models last year or so.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think they're showing off much stuff on their new set. It's just kind of.
Well, they show.
The other thing I would have to send it to Disco in the UK, because he probably didn't send stuff from the LA office to the UK for the set.
Actually, I was going to ask him what he did with all this stuff because
It's probably still in the LA office, just in storage.
Yeah, well, so originally he moved to the apartment with Toast from another apartment, put all his stuff in storage.
Okay.
And then it's been in storage since, and then he got a bunch more stuff, and then he moved to the UK. So I'm like, Is stuff in storage and in storage again? It's like it's just
Yeah,
kind of fun.
I don't know if his
Like storage stuff everywhere, just waiting for his big house one day. You know?
I just realized that this feature of the ship right here is asymmetric.
Oh.
What the heck? That's
Oh, okay, that's trippy. What the heck?
yeah, no, it's got this bulge right here on this side, but that feature does not continue to the other side.
No, but for some reason when you look at it,
And what
like,
is this? Okay, so I'm seeing that there are rams here.
there's
Like, is this a
component.
oh, it's a component thing.
Yeah,
That's
somebody
why.
had it open and there was a
But
component.
it's that bugs me. It's asymmetric and well, okay, so this is probably like a label here. So theoretically, the asymmetry is to allow for this label that I just deleted.
Okay, but I mean,
Yeah.
does CIG not know that half their backers have like OCD issues? Like, come on.
I'm like, I can pick out when your shit is not asymmetric in a heartbeat. Like,
Send a message to the artist that like, so did you know?
did you know your chip is not asymmetric?
Huh.
So I would be curious to know what's here. I don't know. I need to go look at the ship in the expo hall and try to figure out what I'm missing. So like these things are the maneuvering thruster, and I have it pulled in. So wherever it is, yeah. So I have the maneuvering thruster pulled in. So I need to populate the maneuvering thrusters around the ship. But these holes are curiously square, and there might be additional thrusters, like just small thrusters on the ship to aid it when it's in VTOL mode.
You know, I sat in that and I looked at it and I looked at the rear end for a bit because I was looking at the component stuff. But
The other thing is that there is another piece of this, and it actually might go here now that I look at it. There's a refueling probe on here that I was like, this part is simple enough. I don't need to bring it in.
Is that like a disposable fighter? You buy it, use it once, and discard it?
I mean, here it is. This is the fighter. Like, okay, here are the wings. Okay, don't care about those. You know, you're buying this little sausage can that flies through the air.
So I can't imagine people are gonna actually like they're gonna come in with a big ship, drop off dozens of those, and they're gonna fight, and then it'll be too expensive to bring them back or something. I don't know. Like I feel like I feel like some stuff in this game is meant to be disposable, sort of. Like imagine.
I mean, it depends upon who you are.
Yeah, but like okay, imagine a big fleet of A2s coming in, right? And
Yeah.
you got a full of tanks. You know, you drop the tanks off. They go into battle. The A2s do their bombing run, and they head back because sticking around isn't. Because there's, I don't know, say there's something in the game that destroys A2s easily later on. They head back. Okay, the tanks are there. They do their thing with the tanks. Tanks, they win, whatever. And then an Idris comes in, or whatever, to pick up all the soldiers that are left, and they leave their supplies behind. It's not uncommon. Like, the U.S. military does that with their machine guns and stuff sometimes. They leave their stuff overseas because it's cheaper to leave it there and buy new stuff to bring it back.
Yeah.
I kind of have a feeling this might be one of those ships, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, I know one of the ships that I've always been on the fence about is the Talon.
Yeah, I've
flown it, but I don't know. I've just never felt a connection with it.
Yeah, no, Prowler I do, not the Talon.
This is coming from a person that likes the Buccaneer, so
that's funny. That
I'll take flack for that one.
Yes,
I like the Buccaneer. Can't stop, won't stop. I'm just like randomly deleting stickers now off of this. It's not going to help it. It's because I brought the model in at full size, and it's like borderline destroying my cat engine. Oh, I see. Look at these cute little headlights. Oh, there's a cute little headlight.
They're gonna be the super bright LEDs that like light up half the planet. On the surface.
Absolutely, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Speaking of that, so why? okay, obviously different vehicle teams are using different headlights for their ships. They have different,
Yeah, but I mean that makes sense. Like, not
fine.
every car sold has like BMW laser headlights.
No, no, but I want to know if with ship customization later on, if we're going to be able to swap out little things like that. Like I want to change my headlights to be LED white, a cool blue instead of like the mellow yellow or something,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to be able to have my auxiliary lights different colors too. Like I wonder if we'll be able to do that because some of the lights I can't stand. Like the Carrack's lights suck, but then you get
Yeah.
the Tonk, beautiful headlights, and then you get the Tumbrel Cyclone, which is made out of the same manufacturer. They have the crappy little yellow lights. It's like okay, so
Yeah.
even the same manufacturer has different lights. Doesn't make sense to me. So I want to be able to change those out. I think
Yeah.
that's something we
Fair
should be able
enough.
to.
I honestly wonder if it's like a tech thing to where like older lights were. Because I've noticed that CIG uses Houdini, a software, a lot to do a lot of their like VFX stuff. And so I'm wondering if there wasn't like a divide in CIG using Houdini for lighting as opposed to just kind of brute forcing it in engine.
Yeah.
I could be entirely out of my realm of expertise here and blowing smoke at my own ass, but
I don't know.
it seems like every time we blink, CIG's like, oh yeah, we created a new piece of software to do this task to help our developers, and I'm like, oh, okay,
but then yeah, that's
all right,
true.
I gotta stop deleting stickers. I don't know why I'm just like sitting here like, oh, stickers, I gotta get rid of these stickers.
I think it's a weird looking ship like that though. It looks so.
Well, see, the thing is
Wow.
that you know, if this thing was like laying on its side on like the floor of a planet, that's something
Yeah,
you'll see if it got all its wings blown off.
true. And
Like, this is not something that you couldn't not see.
well, that's the thing. But like, it almost looks like a submersible. That you would play like under the ocean or something.
All right, so we are going to do this
Under the
again,
sea.
which is pull out these actuators. But first, I'm going to get rid of the stickers because I don't need them. But I'm only going to do one because if I do one, then I can copy it
Copy
and
it.
live happy. And look at how many
Prosper.
stickers are on this stupid thing. STIG, stop putting stickers on your actuators. I don't care who they're made by.
Funny that there's so much on that. So tiny, like
I
that
mean,
thing's
to be fair, I mean, when I say stickers, I mean it could be anything. Like it could be like a VFX thing of dirt, or
yeah,
you know, a
but
logo or whatnot. So
stuff for future tech that they still haven't worked on.
yeah, fair enough. All right, so this okay. So should got rid of those.
So I took a little side tangent here. I took a tonk out yesterday.
Okay.
Took a tonk out. It was just I placed a tumbrel, TR I think it is, and then I had a tonk, and I was driving around for a while. And I also had my A2. I was taking turns shooting each other with everything,
Mm-hmm.
and I eventually got to the point where I was in the A2, and I dropped a couple bombs, and they hit, but the tonk went flying. So I followed it, and imagine being in that when it got hit, though. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, it still had some good health left, so I spent like I don't know how long, but it was probably a full cycle of the size 4 guns on it to blow the damn thing up. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was tough. I was like, holy crap! So it's a tough little tank, man.
I mean, if in lore it's the largest main battle tank available, like it probably should take a couple hits.
Couple dozen of hits. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
no, fair enough.
it was pretty cool though because I was shooting it with the little 30 millimeter auto cannon or whatever on the one tumbrel, and shoot one spot long enough, there'll be like a nice little hole there. So looks pretty cool. It was all battle scarred and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But,
Now, here's a $1 million question. Have you salvaged a Tonk yet?
no, I never even thought to do that. Shoot.
Yeah.
I should try that next time. Yeah. Speaking of ground vehicles, though, the Ursa or I think everybody's gonna call it the Ursa, anyways. The Lynx, has a size 1 shield instead of a vehicle shield.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, so it's got more shielding than anything we have in game, including the Tonk.
Well, anything on the ground.
Yeah, on the ground. Yes, that's what I meant. Sorry. The Tonk only has 2 size 0s, but it has a lot of, obviously, hit points or something.
Interesting. That is I did not know that.
Yeah, no, keeping those VIPs safe.
But how does the weaponry on the Lynx compare to the Ursa?
2 size 2 or 1s. I think it's about the same.
Okay. You
I
just don't get the cargo carrying capacity.
Yeah, you don't get the 4. I think it's 4 ACU. Yeah. So,
Okay.
but it's fancy inside. It's got a little ice bucket with ice that's moving around inside somehow, because ice does that. And
In
bottles.
in low grav.
Yeah,
you know?
bottles of water and a couple nice little chairs, lots of view. A lot of.
Mr. Chairman, enjoy the view while we get you to your destination as like missiles are just exploding around the Lynx.
Oh yeah, like it's gonna be fun getting NPC from point A to point B. Like I want to someday pick up Jax McCleary in my 890 jump.
Oh, dude, if they put Jax in game, that would be epic.
Oh, they're gonna have to. I think there's gonna be too much of a pitchforks if they don't. I mean,
bring back Tessa Bannister.
They are. That's
what they've said.
When did they talk about that? Last week or the week before they mentioned.
Wait, did they? Oh shoot.
Yeah.
I will be honest. I'm not caught up on ICS, so
no worries.
I'm a bad backer. I'm not caught up.
They briefly mentioned her because they were talking about missions, I think, and they talked about some legacy characters that they wanted to bring back, like Tessa, and then somebody else, a guy I think that we don't have anymore as well. Maybe the guy from Levski, I'm not sure, but
oh yeah.
So there's a couple iconic old school characters that they haven't forgotten about. They still plan on bringing them back. So
okay.
Yeah. So your Carrick that is named Tessa Bannister will be worth the most in game.
As it should.
I'm still waiting to see people sell like their names, people for money. Like waiting for that day to happen.
Do you think I think there's so much? I think that there's so much there's so much variation that I can only see a very few instances where like having the actual name would carry any sort of weight with it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I still think. I don't know. I like snagging the names I did for my ships. Like my wiki for my MSR and my Wikipedia for my Carrick.
You just have to plan ahead because you have to think of what might not be around any longer when the game comes out.
It's like, what's Uber? Yeah, my reclaimer is called Uber Eat. So like, I think that's brilliant, but maybe it won't be relevant in a few years.
Yeah, Lyft could go the way of the dodo. It's not, but it could.
No, it could. Absolutely.
Legislated into obscurity.
Yeah, lots of shit can. You see the amount of surcharges food delivery companies have been stuffing in there lately.
Oh yeah.
And well, in the fact.
I don't use delivery companies, so I don't know much about that economy.
I've just been reading the news with it, and it's like some of them, unless you tip really good.
Oh shoot!
Before you even get your food, they won't even a lot of these delivery drivers won't even bring your food anymore. Like, so there's
I could kind of see that because if the delivery companies haven't been increasing shares or costs with inflation, because that kind of if I were to put on my greedy corporate hat, if inflation increases, but you're like, well, yeah, but I don't care. and you don't pay anymore, then yeah, you ultimately end up making what, more money in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's kind of how it is. But anyways, so yeah, Uber Eats could go the way of Dodo, but you never know. So, but I still like the name.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty cool. So.
Okay, so I have one complete actuator here. So now we're not going to do boring stuff. We're actually going to do exciting things. So what I want to do is I need to identify the pieces of this. So okay, so if we look at this thing has 2 pivot points, here and here.
Okay.
And I might need to go look at a photo of what this thing is supposed to be in its flight mode.
Weird though, because it's like someone inside the cylinder.
Because okay, so the big problem we have is that this is a cylinder and this looks like a cylinder as well, which means that I have 2 interfaces that slide independently of each other, and I don't know what the heck is like. Because there's this inner piece right here, but I don't know if this inner piece clips through here.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm like, that's kind of.
All right, I'm gonna load.
That is breaking my immersion, CIG. How dare you?
I'm gonna load an image of this thing. All right, that doesn't help me. This one I think helps. So we're gonna. I want to bring this image up on stream so that everyone who sees it knows what the heck I'm talking about. So, Fury MX. And then we'll add it. As long as I don't launch... as long as I don't launch pornography onto stream, we'll be okay.
I was literally about to say, make sure you check in the right folder, Drew, just in case you put something on there.
And my entire stream is now of the Fury.
Ooh.
All right, so
Look how cool that missile one looks. Come on. How can he not? It has the blast shit too.
How am I
can
gonna
you
do
not
this?
like
Okay.
that?
I need to. Okay, there's got to be an easy way to. There's got to be an easy way to like crop this without. Can I like drag the crop? No, I can.
Drag the crop? What?
All right, here's what we're gonna do. This is painfully slow. There's got to be a way to like drag this to where it goes faster, but essentially what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna crop the Fury down to.
What is this?
Basically the actuator. Okay, so left, I'm just going to make up a number, 1500. Nope. Again, if somebody knows a better way of doing this, instead of me just guessing, I'm all ears. Okay, so the top comes down. Yeah, no, I'm like amateur houring this 100%.
You know what? This looks like you're trying to load a photo online on
Nope.
Netscape back in late 90s, you know?
Okay, there we go. This is good enough. Okay, so if we
There we go.
Okay, so if we look at this,
Ooh.
it's very clear that it has. Okay, so this backing plate right here stays close to the ship,
Okay,
but
yeah.
now there's this extended part. Do you see that? There's an extension that comes out. So what the heck is so?
Is that? Maybe
I wonder if this RAM actually does not connect to. So, okay.
An extra attachment point to make the tougher, maybe.
Well, I'm trying to figure this out. Okay, so hypothetically speaking, okay, this piece right here. So this top piece to here. Well, but this is part of the pivot, like. I mean, so the one thing I will say is that there is a gap right here. So there's a gap between this center section and this outer section, which indicates to me that it probably slides to some degree. And maybe this is the connection point to where this center section slides out. But the problem I have is that the mounts for the wing are on the outside, and the mount for the wing on the outside is connected to this ram, which is clearly connected to the body. So we have to go from essentially this position to this like laid out position. And it is 100% magic.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't even try to figure that out in my head. I can't figure that out.
Because so here's an interesting tidbit. I'm noticing that this horn right here just clips through the body right here. So
yeah.
here we go. This will give us a better idea of what this should be. So if I hide this, you can see that horn now. And so there's a ram in here, and I don't like. Okay, I'm gonna make this image bigger. It's just gonna encompass the entire stream. So, again, you have this plate, the plate that's right here. I guess nobody can see it. So there's a plate that's close to the ship.
Yep.
And then you have this more skeletal thing, which I'm assuming is this.
The picture's still blocking it, Drew.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I can't see it.
So, again, this shield thing is near the body,
yep.
And then I'm assuming this piece right here comes out. But the problem I have is that in this image, the piece that comes out from the shield looks straight. It doesn't have this jog in it.
Just some hand wavium, maybe? I don't know.
I mean, I could make an argument. Okay, hear me out. I think I could make an argument here, okay? Oh, I got it. I figured it out. Okay. The center is what stays here. So the shield is attached to the center part right here.
Okay.
And so what happens is when this thing folds down, this goes, and then the extension of this piece, so the extension of this outer frame right here, is pushed out by both rams.
Oh.
So this ram goes out and this ram goes out as well. So if I were to try to replicate this, so first off, we're gonna make ourselves a pivot point so that I can.
Time with Drew.
It's math hour with RiceMaiden. Da, 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 da.
Yay!
I want your like tepid yay to be on like any of my stings if you're on forward. It's just like it's model time with RiceMaiden. Yay!
Yay!
Okay, so I'm gonna have to figure out how. Okay, wait, that's really CIG. So I'm assuming that's straight up, which means that they modeled this not with an even number of vertices, which is annoying as hell. Yep. Because if I were to go up here, it goes through the center. Of course, kind of. This whole pipe right here is made of just crap. Like, it's just crap.
Yeah, I don't understand how that even works then in the game.
Actually, wait. Actually, okay. So I recognize. Oh no. Okay, I get it. I get how this thing works now.
Do you though?
I believe this is attached to here. But I don't. Maybe this is supposed to be in here. So that's kind of the weird thing. Is this might be the magic of bullshit right here that CIG does to make this fit. Because based on the kink in this plate right here, this makes me think that the actuator end fits right here. And so in order to get the extension that they show in the picture below, or in the picture in the corner, it probably moves into this position, but in its tucked in position like this. So when it is tucked into the body in this position, you can't see the magic of bullshit. Like, it's buried in here. Nobody's going to see the magic of bullshit. But when it comes out, and I bet you it just pivots on this alone right here.
And the other one just locks into place.
And the other one slides out and slides into here. Now, it's curious that there's no end cap on this. So I don't really know how CIG deals with the fact that there's no end cap on it unless it slides into. No, it sticks out past. I would have to see it on the actual model in game when it folds out to see kind of what exactly it does. But for now, we're gonna go under the guise that this might fit into that cavity.
You know what? That makes a lot of sense actually, because maybe it just all right.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this a pivot point. Actually, so I want this here. We're gonna pivot. Hopefully this is, I don't know where the hell they wanted the center of this to be. It's probably in the center of that. This is what happens. I'm trying to make a geometrically correct model. Nope, I'm too.
Just not happening, Drew.
I'm too low. Shoot. So is it here? No. Okay, I'm too high. What the hell? Okay. So basically, this is just bullshit. Is what's happening? Is there is no logical center for the shaft. And what is going? So the shaft has like a divot here.
Oh,
who modeled this? CIG. I want to know who modeled this, because how is there's like a tiny divot in the shaft? Like, this is unacceptable. Like, there's a divot on both sides. Like, that's bullshit I do in my job. That's not bullshit you should do in your job.
Is that somebody maybe new working on this model?
I
have
no
idea.
I mean, it's probably just an artifact of using whatever tools they use to create this geometry. I mean, in reality, because this is the thing with like models like this, you do so much like hand wavium to hide the mistakes, and I say mistakes in air quotes because nobody sees them, which is why you can model quickly this way. Since nobody can see them, you have mistakes that nobody can see, so that it takes you less time to put the model together. So so we're gonna assume that this circle then exists right here, and it does. Look at that.
Oh, there we go.
We have a circle. So so we have a circle, which means that we can now rotate this. So if I bring the body back, I don't think I wanted to do that, but we're going to go with it. So, so if I move this actuator along that axis I just created. So one nice thing that we have, oh, no, I didn't want to move it like that. Give me the rotate. Okay. So one nice thing that we have is that this clearly clips into the bodywork if I go too low. So,
oh, there you go. You're moving it.
I mean, but see, the problem I have is that the image, this looks really flat.
Yeah.
Unless it... Well, no, okay. I'm not convinced then that this is the pivot point.
Oh, dude, it's going through the ship.
Well, I'm not convinced this is the pivot point, because you see it clip through the bodywork right here, which it might do, like
That's a lot of clipping, though.
But
Holy
but the
crow.
problem that I have is that in the flatness that this piece is supposed to be. So if I rotated this, kind of like how it is in the photo, something like this.
Yeah.
Which I just realized that I'm looking at the bottom, not the top, because this is the top because it has the little fuel scoopy thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay, but I mean, even if this is like this way, because I mean, I think the top has the same problem. Like it will run into this bodywork at like that angle. So the $1 million question becomes is like, how are you creating that angle then? Because, well, the other thing is that, like, even at the angle shown in this photo, like something like this, there's way too much distance between the other one. So that leads me to believe that it does, like, rotate right here.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. I'm an idiot. I'm totally an idiot, and I'm an idiot for not seeing it. It does pivot right here. It pivots right here, and this piston is the thing that sends this one out.
Pushes it out, yeah, but
I mean, it still clips into the ground though. Like, yeah. The problem becomes more extreme when I do it the other way. But I mean, I don't see any other way, because the other thing is, like, look at how high this is compared to the bodywork, and look at how sunken into it is, which leads me to believe that this again is the correct way. Because look at how this is, like, way below the fins. So if you see like the back of it right here, like this is like at the top of this bodywork here, which is super low. So okay, so I guess I'm gonna create an axis on. I guess I'm gonna create an axis on the other one, and we'll go from
throwing
there.
this out there. Is it possible this isn't the final model?
This is the in-game model.
Okay.
This is this is not the holo viewer. This is not the holo viewer. This is, which is the reason why I'm spending so much time, like, correcting the model and putting stuff into it, because this is the in-game model, which comes in pieces. So the holo viewer is great because it's basically kind of a one stop and go, and the holo viewer is more of a, or then the in-game model is more of like, oh, I got some Legos. I'm gonna play with the Legos now.
Yes.
And then you get pissed off that the Legos don't fit together.
Oh, that would be, yeah. You know, it's funny that, speaking of Legos, it's cool that a Lego from the day one fits a Lego now. The engineering behind that just blows my mind.
Absolutely.
You know, it is incredible. Can you imagine being the engineer that worked on Legos? It's like, I designed Legos.
I mean,
that's what I do.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong. Like, I think that the success of Legos is owed a lot to like a manufacturing engineer more than like a mechanical engineer, because
that's fair.
You know, to a certain degree, like, the shape is really not that hard to come to, like, if you think about it for long enough. But being able to produce a wildly, massively produced plastic object that has the perfect fit every single time and lasts for years and years and years, now that is the challenge. That is the power of Lego.
Yes, absolutely. It is incredible. Like this, I still have Legos. My kids play with them, or they did that back when I was younger than them, and it still looks brand new. It's kind of weird.
I still have all of my Legos from when I was a kid.
Nice.
Although to be fair, I've thought about getting rid of them a number of times, just because, you know, now that I am a real engineer and
I'm a real boy.
I'm a real boy. Ma, look at me now. Okay, so I'm not. Again, what the I feel like that's so low. It's too low now. Like, what is
it's gotta
it's
push out.
I'm slowly being convinced. Although to be fair, the distance between the two plates is more in line with what I'm expecting. So here's the thing. I'm going to load this image on my own, and I'm going to zoom really far in and see if this is, like, clipping anywhere.
Ooh.
I'm not convinced that this doesn't...
How many pixels do you want, Drew?
I'm not convinced that this doesn't clip. Like, this has to clip.
You should start a Spectrum thread on it. CIG, what is this?
CIG, your freaking Fury clips. And that there was a big image. I'm trying to find it really quick.
They postponed its release just because of that.
They postponed the release just because RiceMaiden was upset.
They're like, oh shoot, you're right.
Here we go. Okay. I've blown it up to full size, and it gives me jack all.
As it does.
Yeah. Wait a second. Oh, it totally clips. Like, there's no way this doesn't totally clip. Like, all right, I think I found the secret sauce.
So when it spontaneously just blows up.
I don't think okay, there's no way. So if I am looking at this right, this is the RAM. Well, okay, nobody can see what I'm looking at, so that's a thing.
Yeah,
that's a thing. All right, I'm gonna prepare this for everyone so that you can see why I'm upset. Please save something. Come on, computer. I believe in you. Okay, there we go. Okay. But at least we can enjoy the, like, techno music right now while Photoshop loads. All right, but I figured it out. I think I figured it out. I'm going to zoom in on where I think the magic of modeling bullshit is happening in order to prove that I think that the RAMs just clip through the bodywork. Come on, Photoshop load. Okay, there we go. Okay. It's just a couple pixels, but I want to believe that I'm right. I know that I am right.
So what happens in the game though when it does that? Is it like
it just clips through it? I mean, the game doesn't know where physical connections happen. Like you have to program in physical boxes where like that kind of hit detection would occur. So
clip and then okay.
Yeah. So crop.
We're not gonna have Fury's wings ripping off spontaneously.
Save as. We're gonna call it Furious Bullshit.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna swap out. No, we're gonna add a new image to this. We're gonna add a new image. Okay. And there we go. All right. So more. Okay. So from another image.
So tiny. There we go.
Okay. So if you look at this, okay, there is a RAM. The RAM is right here. Okay. So if I go back to the model and I show this.
Yep.
Okay. So the RAM that is right here. So no. Okay. So here we go. So the RAM that is right here that I am pointing at.
Yep.
I believe this RAM right here is what is showing above the lower portion of the wing, and I'm realizing that I cannot point to the image to show you what it is I'm talking about.
Or the little red, so right above that red dot.
No, so above the red dot, I believe is this. I believe it's this body right here, but above that inky shadow is the RAM, because this is two decks. It's two decks. It's the arm right here, and then it's the RAM right here. And that ram is so high up on the bodywork that I believe it to be impossible to not be clipping through the bodywork.
Huh.
The other thing that I am realizing right now is that I bet you. So okay, so if I minimize this a little bit more, okay. So I bet you this RAM right here, maybe it's maybe not. I was trying to be convinced that. So this is where the other RAM, this ring right here is where this lower RAM was in its upper state. I could be convinced that this RAM collapses and this RAM stays at that point during its motion. So
Yeah,
if I were to take this RAM and move it along its axis all the way up to where it's collapsed, I could be convinced that this. I have no pivot point here, which is kind of annoying. Okay. I think I know what I'm doing. So, I think I got this. So, here's the Earth round. Let's see. Okay, so maybe it's too low. I feel like it's actually lower in the photo, but so here's where my mind's at. It's the idea that these two rams stay at their positions. And obviously in this position, you can see that this ram cannot collapse more to fit here. But if I rotate if I rotate the ram up a little bit, I could move it to where it fits. However,
I see. Yep.
the problem that I have is that I have to increase the angle of this. I have to lift it back up. And I don't believe that's how it actually works because like I don't even feel like the current position of this one is flat enough. I feel like it's even flatter. Oh, wait a second.
Oh yeah.
Wait a second. Yeah, because I mean, like, if you look at this, like, even the center portion is now, the center ribs are clipping through this bodywork right now, which might be a thing. It's hard to say. I could make the argument that maybe this and this clip into the bodywork, and then this as it extends out. Okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to extend this out right now, and
settle it once and for all.
well, we're just going to extend it out. So just so we have a clear idea of what we need to do. So I believe that's all there needs to be. Well, I guess this would come with it. So if we extend this out, and according to the photo, it looks like it goes out quite a ways. So something... There is a... Oh, wait, is that where the ram goes? Oh, okay. All right, see, so that little coupling is what holds onto that ram. So we're going to just fix this and grab the ram end and this.
Ram wrench?
Ram wrench. So how far out does this go? So it's clear that this goes really far out, like that. Because if you look at the photo, you can see,
absolutely.
If you look into the extended part, you see in the center towards the wing, there's a little highlight, and that highlight is most definitely the ram end right here.
Yep, it is. Yeah, I can see it.
So,
So that's
well,
about
now that I have like basically broken the ram, though, I bet you this goes out as far as I can extend this piece. So if I bring it back in just a little bit, that's actually probably good enough. So let's see, 13.4. I need to move the rings out as well because this is my only. As much as these rings are just stickers,
Yeah.
they're the only thing telling me where the center of rotation is for the wing. So they have to come. So they have to come with me.
There you go.
Okay, so I'm gonna reduce both of these images so you can see more of the crap. Okay, so oh, well, I didn't take this with it. Well, that's fine. There's no sticker on there, so that's fine. Okay, so now that we have the wing extended. Now, is there actually? I want to extend this, as I want to extend this ram as well, and I want to see. So it only goes that far.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
But
so.
Is there not maybe? Is there maybe?
I mean, I could make the argument that maybe this doesn't go out quite that far. Man,
No, it does though. You can see it clearly goes out quite a ways.
But
Is there a third?
maybe not quite that far. Like maybe this is the limiting factor.
I mean, it could just be the angle. It could just make it look longer. Like it just, you know how sometimes you take screenshots and it just looks just a little bit more elongated than it's supposed to be. It could just.
Yeah, because if I put this in its position, like
elongated,
something like that. Like that looks about right, as much as this RAM. So maybe this RAM comes out to meet it, and it is what it is. Like, I mean, in all fairness, like nobody's gonna know if I mean, like CIG's model, nobody's gonna know if I cheat this a little bit as well.
Well, no.
So if I cheat it a little bit like this.
There, now slide it up in there. Yeah, that's see, that's where it's supposed to go. Is right there.
Yeah. So, and then the center RAM. So the center RAM rotates around that. So I need to have.
So this whole mechanism is a giant bag of hand wavium, hey?
I'm assuming this whole mechanism is a giant bag of hand wavium. Yes, I believe that there is some very, very clear mechanical bullshit going on with this mechanism because I cannot find a way to solve it in reality. So, okay, so what needs to happen is, let's see, this RAM needs to come up, and this is definitely not going to be perfect. So let's see, 12, so let's go 6. And let's move this one up by that's 8. You know what? We're gonna make it 7, and we're gonna make this one go up by 1 more degree. I could do this the precise way, but it doesn't matter because I'm gonna have to remodel this mechanism anyways.
Okay. Interesting.
All right, I'm gonna call that a victory. Okay, so yeah, there we go. That's my guess as to what this mechanism looks like. If we turn the bodywork back on, it's clearly coming out of the bodywork as it should. So the only argument I could make is no, because this has a clear perch for this. This collides with the body.
Quite a bit too. Like it's a whole third of the.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Yeah, it is what it is. I guess.
I guess Friday.
Okay.
Really
Well.
look at the game, so.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna move the wing to where it needs to actually. You know, what, I'm gonna save. I'm gonna save before I lose all my work.
So I have a question. Now, if it flips that bad, like people are gonna be able to see that. I'm kind of surprised.
No, no one's gonna notice it.
No?
No one's gonna
Okay.
notice it.
I mean, I will.
Nobody is going to be standing next to this model and looking at it and going, "Oh, the like motion geometry of this clips." I've found clipping geometry in tons of other CIG models, like in their animations. Like I'd notice it in CAD and then go to
Yeah.
game and be like, "Is this right?" And then it does it and it does it in game, and I'm like, "Okay, yeah, that no."
Huh.
Again, nobody's gonna notice it, you know.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You know, it's the difference between modeling for engineering and modeling for games and animation. Like
Yeah.
you can get away with bullshit like this because you can.
Yep. Because it's not real world.
I don't know where the pivot point of this was because it moved, so we're just gonna take a guess.
Ooh.
And that actually looks not half bad. Might be able to come down just a little bit further. Because it goes up into that pocket and then... Actually, I should just turn on another wing and see how it actually fits in. All right, so let's see. How does it fit in? So essentially, it just that part sticks out. Okay. I guess it's at such an angle now that it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna call that. I'm calling that good enough. That looks like that fits decently well.
There we go. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, there we go. We have. Again, I want to believe that this goes lower. Like this feels too high.
A little. Yeah, that's what I mean by the whole. Like,
Actually, I take it back. I'm looking at the photo now, and I actually don't believe that's correct.
okay.
Because the edge of the in its down flight position, the edge of the wing is above the bodywork. So theoretically, yeah, no, that actually looks correct. Although this wing might be at a higher angle. It's totally at a higher angle. So the way this wing should be is so the way this wing should be is this needs a pivot point. Okay, we'll add a pivot point here and make a pivot point out of non-round geometry because
That's how it goes, man. That's how it goes.
That's how I roll, you know. CIG is like pivots. What do you mean? And I'm like, touche.
Touche.
I'm like, challenge accepted. It's the center of two off points, which is this is driving me insane. Yep, look at that. It's the okay. Okay. It's in both axes off points, which is going to make me even more upset. I bet you it is the center of these 2 points. It's the center of these 2 lines, which is going to make me even more upset. And I don't know why I'm going... Yep, see, there it is. I don't know why I'm going to this level of effort for this, but... okay.
If you want to sleep tonight, Drew, you want to sleep tonight.
I want to sleep soundly?
Yes.
Okay, so we want the wing to rotate around this line that I have drawn. So I believe this wing comes down further. I want to believe it goes like this. Was it really 10 degrees though? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can believe that.
I mean.
Okay, so hear me out. So hear me. Okay, so let me give this wing. Let me give this wing an engine. So you need an engine, which we're going to give you.
Look under your chair, everyone. Everyone gets an engine too.
Well, the hood isn't flipped up, so it's gonna look a little weird, but oh yeah, I should flip the hood up. Dang it. I'm using a bad wing to. Yeah, do I really want to go through the effort of trying to flip that hood up?
I mean, I don't know. Like, is it gonna?
Okay, hear me out. Let's get rid of that wing. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. We're going to create the master center lines because I should have done this originally and I didn't because I'm an idiot.
Yeah. Got caught in a moment.
No. Well, okay. Here's the master. Here's the master vertical center line. Okay, and then I need my master horizontal center line. Okay, and I'm gonna hope to God that is good enough. So, so I want this wing right here. Actually, you know what? No. I don't even need to flip it. I'll just use this one. Okay, so what's gonna happen is I'm gonna take this wing, and I'm going to. Where the hell is my mirror button? I'm going to. Nope, wrong mirror button. I'm going to mirror this wing over my master center line.
That's nice that you can do that because that was a lot of work for one side.
This is going to be experimental wing, which will probably just become. Oh, never mind. Mirror plane, copy. Experimental wing, which, like I said, is probably going to become the master wing because all the wings are the same.
Which is really nice.
Okay.
We weren't sure at first. Yesterday, we weren't sure.
Okay, so now, because this wing has an engine and it has the cowl, the hood thingy in the correct orientation. First things first is we are going to take the engine and we're going to rotate it so that it's in line with the. It's going to be in line with this. Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to move this wing so that it is somewhat close to what I think it's supposed to be. Okay, so I can make the argument that this cradle here butts up against the cradle of the RAM right here because you can notice that geometry exists here. So theoretically, if I make those two things keys,
yeah, you could, and then it would
make them
provide
keys.
a little extra
keys.
Little extra support to the structure of the wing. You know, want everything touching, right?
It's a little low. Let's just
now Kith.
I'm gonna maybe a little bit lower. Okay, I'm gonna call that good enough. Okay, and then the wing itself, as I found out, should rotate 10 degrees down. And I have my axis right here. Okay, so I have what I believe to be the flight wing position.
Interesting.
Which means that if I actually, you know what, if I put the actuator under the wing, hide all the other wings. Oh, you get the full cockpit. Okay, hide all the other wings. And now, if I were to mirror this wing, everywhere. Oh crap. Yeah. So these other actuators exist. So there's going to be a little bit of visual errors because these other actuators exist still in the model, but we should be able to see the proper wing positions So if I mirror this over the master center line, okay, and then I were to.
That looks okay. That right there looks like a badass.
Oh
Little,
no! Like the flight
looks so
mode.
cool.
The flight mode looks cool on this thing.
Even if just the 2 wings, it almost looks like a alien version of Drake, Buccaneer, sort of. kind of looks cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right.
If that was the Drake Buccaneer, I would be on it. Just saying.
I just want it to be because the Buccaneer is Herald motors just attached to wings. So I just need 4 Herald motors attached to this little tiny fuselage. Okay, so we're gonna mirror here, and copy, and theoretically outside of the actuator errors, that looks correct to me based on what I'm seeing. This looks correct. So in the span of an hour and a half, we have created the actual Fury flight model by reverse engineering CIG's actuator bullshit.
Ah, dude, that is so nice looking.
Because if you look at this, so if you look at this right here, I mean this is more head on than I expected, but yeah, okay, maybe something like this. I don't know. Again, I'm seeing like that actuator, and maybe, yeah, there's some trickery going on here with this like camera angle, but I'm thinking that I'm seeing an actuator there, and the actuator is right here, clipped through the bodywork as it should.
Yep.
I mean, there is literally no other way to achieve this. I cannot find the solution that CIG thinks I'm gonna find.
Well,
but actually, this thing actually looks kind of cool. Like this, it's going.
I hear the TIE interceptor sounds. That looks so cool. So we better start seeing some TIE versus X-wing battles now.
With snubs.
Yeah, Scorpius, like half a dozen Scorpiuses versus like 2 Scorpius versus 6 of these.
God.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, now that so now that I have corrected the BS, I need to add the thrusters, or add the maneuvering thrusters to their little holes, and then essentially start modeling.
Wow,
so this has been
great progress.
Relatively productive.
Yes, it has. I mean, that trying to figure that actuators out was a lot of bullshit, but hey, we got through it.
We surpassed all challenges.
Absolutely.
I love how this started off with doing the boring stuff and then became the do the interesting stuff.
Yes, me too. It was a good stream.
So, cool. Well, I am actually wildly happy at how that turned out. Oh, I'm realizing that I still need to add guns to this because I want this to be a really good model.
I mean,
so I think I've done the Badgers before. So I think I have an existing model I can bring in that I've already created and 3D printed.
I wonder. It's just.
I do actually. I did them for I did them for the Hornet.
Okay.
For the ball turret on the F7A.
Oh, okay.
Although I'll need to take a look at this, and I'm actually taking a look at the photos right now. Yeah, no, it's actually I take it back. I did the old Panthers. I did the old Panthers for the Hornet. So this needs the new Badger on them. So I'll probably have to just remodel those, which is not the end of the world.
I was gonna say, why don't you? Because everybody thought they were size 4 guns at the beginning. see what it looks like with size 4 guns on it, just for the team. So this is what it would have looked like.
The most
overpowered.
Well, I was gonna
I
say
mean,
the most like unbalanced ship.
oh, can you? So little end note here for the night. Talking to some friends, and they were bringing up the funny stuff CIG does. Like years ago, they talked about how they don't want ships to be snub clown cars. Well, they seem to be going in the opposite direction of that with this little ship here. So I can see dozens of these
Snub
coming out of
clown cars.
yeah, snub clown cars, and I can see that happening now. Dozens of these until like things like the proper ship mechanics are in place to prevent people from stuffing 100 of these inside of an Idris. We'll see fun stuff like 2 dozen of these come out of a C2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
The whole server will die, but that's okay.
God. 30 ships leaving one physics grid for another. It just sounds like I just realized that the music stopped. What happened to my music? Did it crash?
I don't know.
I got to the end of the playlist, maybe? I have no idea.
Hold on, because I can't listen to you twice. It's weird.
I can't actually start the music. I don't know what happened. It just died. I found the end of music. Like music just doesn't exist anymore.
Wait, you played all at SoundCloud? Oh my god.
I got to the end of music. I found like the crucible, the precipice of. I'm using the wrong words clearly, but I found the pinnacle of music, and then it passed, and there was nothing left.
Your silence. But anyways, yeah, no, it's gonna be fun seeing a lot of people. Actually, you know what? This might be good testing for CIG to have a dozen or so of these ships come out of one physics grid. Like that I think will be useful information for them. So
yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I as much as I don't explicitly know that snubs are really what we need right now, I recognize that the number of snubs we have available to us is very small.
Yeah, and they're
so
it's funny too because they're actually kind of large in comparison to this. Like this is half the size of a P-72.
Yeah, this is a tiny ship.
Yeah, like somebody was comparing it to those little motorbikes that we have yet to get.
Mm-hmm.
It's not much bigger. Not much bigger.
Yeah.
It's not much longer than it anyways. Kind of funny. So.
Yeah, but yeah, I have to go through and I'll just save all of my. Yeah, I have to go through and now delete these actuator arms that are just eyesores. But thankfully, deleting stuff is a lot easier than deleting stuff is a lot quicker than trying to relocate and organize parts of this model. Thankfully, there isn't many. Thankfully, there isn't many of them, many parts to these actuators to click through. So
oh yeah, there we go. I was wondering what those thin little lines were, but they were.
Yeah, they're all the stickers.
Oh man.
They're all the either like textures or decals or like VFX or
Imagine spending a day placing those on that thing. That's your job all day. Just.
Oh yeah, I mean, welcome to being a what? Oh shit! I did the wrong thing. I mean, at that point, it's like welcome to being a what? Junior modeler, junior texturer.
Yeah, that's probably
junior VFX artist. Probably more like what it is yeah, just being a junior VFX artist. It's like, hey, CIG needs you to add the bullshit McGubbins to the ship, and you're up, Spectre. Get to modeling the McGubbins. We got carrots to sell.
I wonder, yeah, like you're saying, like those should be used for like wear and tear and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of interesting their choice of placement on that.
Well, I don't think it's wear and tear because they're very specifically placed. Like I think the wear and tear is just an additional map that's added to the texture map, as CIG has described it. I think they're either like physics emitters or like places where you might want specific like decals that you don't want to model. So for example, one of the things I've noticed they do a lot of is like on weapons, wherever they want like a bolt, they'll use one of these little texture flats to indicate like where the bolt is, and then it will be rendered, I assume, using like bump maps to make it appear in game. Because if you load like a gun model, it doesn't have like any. The modern ones don't have any bolts in them. All the bolts are these little flat placards that are most likely rendered in at time of, in the game engine.
Okay.
So, but I mean, yeah, it's a smart way of doing it, because if you have a very efficient, if your rendering engine is very efficient at rendering like bump maps, then why would you have a polygonally dense bolt head when you could have a very lightweight like bump map?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it's just optimizations like that kick you further down the road.
Makes sense, my dude.
So,
well, that was
I've gotten caught in the rung of deleting decals again.
See that, yeah.
So.
Well, it was a good stream. I quite enjoyed the progress we made.
Yeah.
You made. I just watched, but good times.
Absolutely. Well, I'll finish this and then I'll send one to Canada, but CIG will send the attack helicopters after me, and I'll have to go into hiding for years, and it'll just be a thing.
No, that's all good. I will see when I come down to your house someday. I'll see them in person, admire their beauty. I may or may not accidentally take one home with me.
Oh no! There was a robbery and I didn't file a police report. Oh, it's just it's being the Portland.
It's just
it's just the Portland life, Can
you imagine actually filing that police report and be like, what was stolen? A single tiny little model.
A Canadian stole my models.
The cop's like, hey, I play Star Citizen. Can I have a model? No.
Yeah. God.
There you go.
Canadian stole my models. So cool. Well, thank you for joining me, and we will continue this. I don't know, maybe tomorrow night if games don't transpire. Because like I said, I really want to get this done, and I want to. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's not going to be done by Friday at this point, but I'd like to have it done before the end of Invictus.
So you got 2 weeks.
Yeah, so I think if I put a little bit of time into it every single night, it'll get done relatively quickly.
Another side note, I don't know if this ship will be on sale for probably a month to 6 weeks, so if you wanted to do that avenue and push it, just say to the 6 weeks, then, but it's not a big ship, so it shouldn't take you too long.
Yeah, theoretically. I mean, I don't know. I recognize that there's like a lot of detail on the ship, and
it looks so crazy.
I'm starting to get bogged down by like looking at all the details, and I'm like, how big do I want to make this? How much detail do I really want to put into this thing? So
even need it though.
I will say the one aspect of this that I hate, that I don't like, are these floating panels.
Yeah.
Like, they're just a pain in the rear to figure out what to do with.
That's gonna have to be plastic, probably.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm gonna end up remodeling most of, if not all of, this entire ship. So, just because again, it's all broken, like game engine modeling techniques. So, there'll be a lot of rework on my end, but I think a lot of this will be 3D printed just to maintain some of that visual design aesthetic.
Well, you got that design language that you choose, and gotta stay true to that, my dude. Unless you decide to branch off into a RiceMaiden Models 2.0 and go a whole different route.
RiceMaiden Models 2.0. It's where I add even more more detail, and it becomes even more of a drain on my personal sanity.
There you go. It's like, this model took me 500 hours. Enjoy. Whoa.
So, all right. Well, I'm gonna call it quits for the stream. Do you want to hop in Star Citizen really quick and go see these in the expo hall if they're still a thing?
They are not. The expo hall is over.
Rip.
No.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll have to wait till Friday to see them.
You betcha.
So, all right. Well, we're gonna call it here, and yeah, take care until maybe tomorrow night.
Cheers, man. Take care. Thanks.
Peace.
Peace.